So today is obviously January 1st, 2025. It is the first day of the new year, and I am just making this video to go over the things that I, Chris Keown, hope to accomplish in 2025. So for this year, for me, it's a lot of bigger things that I hope to accomplish, and the way that I see myself having the best chance of these things coming to fruition is breaking all these things down into more manageable steps. So there's this good quote, I probably mentioned on here before. I think it's by Lao Tzu, and he says, "Do the great things while they are easy. Do the large things while they are small. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And it all obviously has to do with just getting started, just getting your momentum going. But more than that, it's about breaking down a very large goal into more manageable tasks. A sum is obviously equal to its parts, and I think that a lot of times with a big goal or a big project that you're hoping to see to accomplishment, it's very easy to get caught up in the sheer size of things. But something I learned in my degree in chemical engineering was, this assignment that you have might seem impossible, even might seem too big for you to do on your own. But by breaking everything down into more manageable, doable tasks, it doesn't seem that hard. Like an impossible task is just the summation of a lot of very easy, trivial things. And with that comes one word: consistency. So a year is obviously a pretty large amount of time, but a lot of time, as you know, can easily slip away. And before you know it, it'll be end of January, February, March. It'll be summer, it'll be September, October, followed by the end of 2025 and on to 2026. So in any large goal you have, by breaking it down into manageable tasks and then being consistent with these small tasks, you will just allow your time to not slip away from you, and just chipping away at these projects until the end of the year comes and you'll surprise yourself at just how much you have accomplished. A quick story about that. So I've planted trees out western Canada for a couple seasons. Now, how tree planting works is it's that exact kind of frame of mind, which is why this is going to be a good analogy. But basically, you're taking a huge goal, such as planting 100,000 trees, 150,000 trees, and you're breaking it down into the most trivial, smallest of tasks possible, which is just planting a singular tree. Now, planting a singular tree, once you have some experience, that this tree is only about a year old, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. It's not that big. So it's only going to take you about 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, depending on terrain variations. Now, obviously, that's not a difficult task. Planting a tree for 4 seconds is not hard, but doing that again and again and again and consistently, and not losing sight of the bigger objective and not wasting your time once you're out there, that is where the true difficulty comes in. That's where consistency for me was truly learned. Like, I obviously heard in school, it's good to be consistent, but I always thought I could kind of beat the system, where I know kids who consistently studied and they just did a little bit all the time, and it worked for them, they got good grades. But me, I was always the kind of guy that kind of waited till the last minute, or maybe not even the last minute, but got everything done all at once, maybe even a week before, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And these large kind of exertions of effort to get my tasks done, which obviously worked. Now, once it came to tree planting, because these complete seasons that I did were about 3.5 months, and to think, I just need to plant a ton of trees today and like get a ton in so that my average is lower and I'll be able to hit my goals. Although that may work for a couple days, you're going to hit days where the land is not favorable, you're feeling under the weather, whatever, and you're not going to have these huge days. Now, it's less about just a ton of full out effort as it is just never stopping. So there's this like saying in tree planting, it sounds pretty simple, but keep planting, never stop. And that's really just the best way to plant as many trees as possible. It's not about planting the tree necessarily even that quickly. Of course, you do have to plant quickly, but it's about just never stopping moving. So you'll be out there for about 8 hours. And in those 8 hours, you could have the mind frame of, oh, I'm going to plant for maybe 6 of those hours and go really hard for those 6 hours and then go and take a break at the cache or whatever. But the guys who are the most successful, when you see them out there, they don't look like they're going that fast. But if you watch them, they just never stop moving. You show up, you bag up your trees, you get out there, and from the time you plant that first shovel till the time it's quitting time, all you're doing is planting and you're just never stopping. So you plant your tree and then you don't even think about, oh, that was a good tree or whatever, or about the next microsite. You just move and then you plant the next one. You move, you plant the next one, and you find a rhythm and you just keep going again and again and again. You bag out, you've planted all your trees in your bags, quickly go back to the cache. Don't even sit down, just have a little snack as you're standing, as you're bagging up, and then you just get back out there. This slow kind of continuous effort. And I really only found that speed my second half of my second season, or for sure my third season there, where it's not about killing yourself out there. It's not about going so hard. You don't need to go as hard as you necessarily think. You just need to never stop moving. So that really taught me the power of consistency and this kind of idea of water eroding stone, where the water itself doesn't really possess much power, but because it is just never taking a day off and continuously dropping on this stone, after 50 years, there's a channel. After 100 years, the stone is half cut. But the water itself doesn't seem to be possessing much natural ability. It doesn't have a tendency of erosion in the same way like diamond or sandpaper might have. The point of that story is just the sheer power and ability of consistency. And that's the kind of mind frame that I'm taking into 2025 to accomplish these goals that I have. So first, I just wrote down, I've got 6 of them here in my journal. I was just going through and I did find things I will accomplish in 2022, my goals that I wrote down for 2022. And I was just reading them, and I already have this idea for this video, but it's funny. If you see number 6 here, excuse the bad handwriting, but be more consistent. I wrote that down even then. I probably didn't truly understand the meaning of that word at the time, but I certainly do now. I had also said here that I wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Spoiler, that obviously didn't happen. I do think having a metric like that is out of your concern is kind of a flawed way of thinking, because you do not actually possess the ability to make 10,000 people hit subscribe to your channel. So I think a better way of writing that goal would be, I want to make one video a week and have that one video a week be as good as possible. And then however many people subscribe from that is going to be decided by a ton of factors that are slightly in your control, but also slightly out of your control. With all that being said, here are my 6 goals for this year. So things I will accomplish in 2025. So number 1, and this is like first and foremost, like this is the thing that I need to get done. I will get a career chem-eng job. So as I said, I graduated from chem-eng last April. Now it is the next year and I need to get a job. I've already applied to so many places. Haven't heard back from too many. Some I have got rejected from most. I did have an interview and I'm waiting to hear back from this one guy that works there. I assume he's on Christmas break right now, so I'm not pestering him for now, but as soon as mid-January comes around, I'm going to be on that and make sure I can secure this job. I want to start furthering my career, start collecting my hours towards becoming a professional engineer. And yeah, it feels like I'm kind of living in limbo, just working a retail job. I want to get things going. So that's goal number one. Number two, as I said, like saying I want a certain number of subscribers on YouTube is kind of out of my control. So a better goal will be 1 video a week. So about 4 videos a month. And I'm going to phrase it as 52 videos a year. So I don't necessarily care if I make a video every single week, but by the end of 2025, I want there to be 52 videos. Now, obviously, as I said, with consistency, the best way to do that is to continuously never stop moving. So don't just make 10 videos and then take a break and then make another 30 and then take a break. Like I want to be continuously making videos, but obviously things happen. Some weeks may have a lot else going on, so I might not be able to, but I'm not going to look at that as a failure if I miss a week, as long as I'm able to put 52 videos together by the end of 2025. My third goal here is to work out 6 days a week. Now with this workout, it's kind of a loose term. Like if I go running or if I even just do a bunch of bodyweight exercise like pull-ups and sit-ups and push-ups, that still counts for me. That's basically what I am doing now. Doesn't mean I need to be in the gym 6 days a week, but any good form of exercise that's healthy for my body, even yoga or anything like that, that counts 6 days a week. The fourth one here. So I've kind of hinted at in some of my videos that I've been working on a few other things. I just haven't mentioned it. Something I've been working on for many years now. I will finish writing my book. So maybe about second year uni, so about 5-6 years ago, I had this idea for this kind of dystopian sci-fi book. It's about dreams, it's about the journey, the process, and yeah, I've been working on it. Something I've chipped away at for the last 5 years-ish. Obviously being busy with school during the school year and tree planting during the summers, I didn't really work on it too much, but the last 6 months I've gotten a good amount of work done on it. So this book, I'll definitely talk about more in like a later video. Basically, I have the first 2 chapters pretty much done, and then I have a ton of other conversations and scenes from many other chapters already written out that kind of have to be like linked together, or I know something's going to happen later on, and I just didn't want that scene to disappear from my mind, so I just quickly wrote it down. So I have about 30 pages written out. I don't suspect this book will be anywhere more than 300, giving me about 270 pages left to write. Because it has been going on for so long and because I have been really into it for the last 6 months, I definitely want to finish this up sooner rather than later. I have a bunch of other ideas of other projects I want to get done later. So I want to get this one done right though, but done. Yeah, so with 270 pages left to write in about 52 weeks, that gets you about 5.2 pages per week. Super doable. Obviously that includes all the editing and everything. If by the end of this year I have a pretty rough book that I can then take to a publisher, I'll be very happy. That's something I'm super excited about. I've been really into kind of reading, writing, and the thinking that goes along with it recently. Yeah, so as for my 5th goal here, it'll be read 26 books this year, which is about 2 books each month, or about 1 book every 2 weeks. Same kind of thing, the second half there of 2024, I got back into reading. I always loved reading growing up, and I've really loved the knowledge that I've got from reading classics and just the thought-provoking nature that reading has. Definitely want to keep reading, and I think 1 book every 2 weeks is definitely not unrealistic. And my sixth and final goal, this will probably be kind of Q3 of 2025 here, once I get set up in a job and all these other things kind of well on their way, is a minimum viable product for one of the 3 startup ideas I have. So I have some potential business ideas that, again, I want to see to fruition. One of them I have put probably about 35, maybe even 40 hours into already, but obviously it's nowhere near completion at all. And the other 2 I've thought about, but haven't done much of anything towards. So kind of just picking one of those 3 and going bullish on it. Obviously with that one, it's very vague, because I'm obviously not saying what any of these ideas are, but it's also vague in the sense of a minimum viable product. So it's going to be kind of hard to quantify if I pass that goal or not, but basically just if one of those 3 ideas I put a sizable amount of work into and get a sizable amount of progress done, I will be happy. So those are my 6 things that I will accomplish in 2025. I'll be very, very happy if I get all 6 of those done. I definitely think they're realistic, but as I said, they're only realistic as long as I don't let the time slip away from me. And as long as I start working on them now and chipping away at them. It seems like a lot as a sum, but again, the sum of the parts is the whole, and each of the parts is not that hard. Like, sounds like finishing up a book would be super difficult, but 5 pages of writing a week doesn't seem unrealistic. Now, obviously right now I do have a full-time job, as I said, just working retail, because I'm moved out, paying for, rent and food and that type of thing. So as I'm sure everybody knows, the economy is expensive, living is expensive, Canada right now is expensive. So yeah, doing all these things on top of a full-time job, and then hopefully getting my full-time chem job will obviously have its challenges, and then still maintaining relationships at the same time, where you don't want to lock yourself away completely, just be a recluse. But definitely some of that is required to accomplish something of this magnitude. Yeah, I think when I do accomplish all 6 of these things in 2025, it will set my trajectory for the next year, as well as just the rest of my years of life well. And yeah, I look forward to just working at these, chipping away at them. And obviously, as I said, I'm going to be making 52 YouTube videos, some of them kind of vlog style, some of them more kind of talking style, kind of showing the progress and everything. So my name is Chris Keown. This channel is here to showcase my journey, and that is everything I have for today, January 1st, 2025. Thank you for watching. Good luck to everyone this year. As any year, is going to be a good year if you make it a good year. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Good luck again to everyone this year, and I will see you guys in the next one.